Hello everyone to my Spearhead tournament debut, and this one was fought out at the Kolonisten store in Turnhout. Well, it was played the 8th of December, and I went there, loaded my dearly beloved Idonet into the car, and off we went. Now, compared to the last time I was in the store, which was in 2019 because Corona and then the baby came, and it has moved a few houses down the street, and now it has a way roomier venue, and it has an awesome play area, as you can see here. And it also had this little sign on the door. So, blinky blinky. That was a very welcoming sight for sure. And well, I bought from their takeaway as I was with the car, some beers for me and some of those smoothie shake beers for Nashi. But I did try their alcohol-free Raymond craft beer, and that was, to be honest, bloody good stuff. Now, we all got some goodies, being a laser cut template, which had the most used ranges in the game as a participation gift. And one of the participants, Michiel, also provided everyone with some beer he had brewed especially for his wedding. So even though I wasn't at the wedding, I'm gonna enjoy his triples. But as we had 6 participants in the end today, it was time to go to the fields of battle. And aiming to avoid that final spot on the ranking, as this was the first time I would actually play Age of Sigmar Spearhead, or Age of Sigmar for that matter, in a competitive setting. Now, the first game was against Wouter and his army of blood-crazed tanks called the Blades of Corn. Those Skull Crushers have about the highest armor in the game, but even his regular warriors sport a hefty 3+. Add to that the fact that they all dish out a bucket load of attacks, and my small force of tinfoil wrapped elves, which was the only force in the tournament that had not a single war save somewhere in the army, I knew I needed to hit hard. Unfortunately, he saved 95% of my attacks, the crowning achievement being that I threw 33 attack dice at a certain moment on his Skull Crushers, and he saved each and every one of them that came true. So even with all my rending around, my force was cut down mercilessly, resulting in a crushing 22-6 defeat. That wasn't the greatest of starts. For the second game though, it was the 2 glass cannons of the game present, and I faced Diego and his Daughters of Cain. Except he has that gruelly strong arch unit of Melusai, an all-around 6+ war save, and 3 units returning, both the Witch Elves and the Doom Riders. I managed to break through his force a first time though, but then got stalled in his center when 3 Witch Elves just refused to die, or my Trolls refused to hit, however you want to call it, allowing his returning units to overwhelm me, or take objectives. As a result, I closely lost with a 17-16, which was in the decider until the very end. This was a great heap of fun, and we were laughing and chatting so hard that we didn't even notice that we had been pulling twists in turn 2 and 3 from the Akshi instead of the Girondeg though. Don't ask. Game 3 put me against Michiel, the bloke from the beers, and his Caradron Overlords. Now finally I gained my first ability of the Tides of Death, and my Creeping Mist ritual of my leader would be of any use. And it paid dividends in hampering his massive firepower. This allowed my force to first take out the smaller units, and I must admit their inability to return any models is a serious setback for them, before taking down the balloon and resulting in a 23-15 victory. At least my honor was saved for the day, and I managed to win a game. The final game though was against Koen and his horrendously powerful Soulblight Gravelords. You got this general throwing mortals all over the board. You've got those Blood Dragon cavalry, which is just awesomely good. And though I managed to assassinate his general in the first turn, which I had, the knights began their havoc along my lines, taking out unit after unit. I managed to put up a fight until the 3rd round, but with my force then decimated, he overtook me on points in the final round as such, as no elf was left alive, and a 17-14 defeat, unfortunately, was my part. So in the end, I ended up in 5th place, avoiding that last place, barely, Having scored 2 game points and 60 glory in a tournament where I was often being cramped to death by all those plate-wearing trains on the table. But then the biggest surprise came though, as people outside the tournament had been asked to judge the best painted army, and my IDNF took that trophy and accompanying gift voucher. Which I didn't use, I just kept the voucher, which is a cool printed dice, to go in the cabinet along the force. But as this is now the second time in a row, the previous being the Underworlds event in Ekeren, and then before that there was a third place in the Benelux Clash, that I ended in a top painting spot, it seems that my old school Wargames Foundry, Kevin Dallimore inspired style, suddenly starts appealing to people again. But thanks to the organizers for running this fun event, and I will definitely be visiting the store more for events in the future. And to buy a lot more craft beers. So now onwards to the next Spearhead event, one that I will be running myself and as such normally wouldn't be playing, I will be the reserve player. And that's Spear and Shield 1 in Ekeren, coming to you the end of March. So check T3 if you want to join up, and hopefully see you there. Thanks for watching and listening to my ramblings, and until next time, bye bye.